Alrighty, howdy y'all, hope y'all are having a wonderful day, push day. I'm starting off with some eggs and toast, and this is like my 4th or 5th time having eggs in 2 or 3 days, because since I lost my wallet I have no way of paying for groceries, so I just had my buddy go out and buy me some eggs, egg whites, milk, and toast, or bread, and I'm just kind of living off that for right now, but we just kind of make do with what we got the supplements of course. But today, I'm gonna good back day. Got a class to go to in a little bit. Supplements. I've been taking three fish oil pills now. I normally only do 2. I don't know if that's a bad thing. I think it's okay, but same thing kind of with having eggs a lot. I know people worry about like cholesterol and everything, and like, oh, you shouldn't eat too many eggs because of like how much cholesterol's in them. I feel like for the like normal average, not even average, but like for the normal person that's active and healthy with what they're doing, I cannot seem to get this edge to cut. There we go. I don't think you really got to worry about like your egg consumption with cholesterol. I know a lot of the egg whites that I get are cholesterol free, but even if they're not, unless you're having like, I don't know, 6 eggs or more every day for like weeks on end, I don't think you really gotta worry about it. I think you're gonna be just fine. And I think eggs are one of the best forms of protein for cutting. Well, egg whites. Eggs themselves are still pretty good. They're very low in calories. They do got a bit of fat though. So, yeah, looking forward to today. It's a very nice day out. I'm actually doing hoping to do some backyard American football here in on Friday, so during my chest, back, and shoulder day. I'm hoping to get some of the Australians that are in the same building that I'm living in right now to go play some American football. We'll see how it goes. I have technically 8 people that said they'd be willing to, but I don't know if everyone's actually going to show up. But it'd be kind of neat. It would be kind of neat if everyone did. So we'll see how that goes. And yeah, I'll probably be talking to y'all again before the workout after my class. So I'll talk more about the workout then. But yeah, my eating has gotten different since I've gotten here because of like how lenient my schedules are. I've had more time, like I get to sleep in more, and then I'm still getting really bad sleep. I don't know what it is, if it's just the bed or what, but I'm not sleeping great here. So we're in like this 7 to 8 hour range of sleep, so it's still not that terrible, but it's not what I want. So, but my eating's gotten a little different. I kind of have breakfast now more around like 10 or 11, and then I have like technically dinner at like 5. And then I eat another meal after the gym, so it's just like really pushed back. But when I get back to the States, it's definitely gonna probably go back to normal as like my schedule goes more back to my regular schedule. So yeah, gonna finish up breakfast and go to my class, and then I'll see y'all before the gym.
Howdy y'all. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. I was just seeing if I could start my camera from back here, because if I reach up to like the top right corner of my phone, it starts the camera. So anyways, obviously you just saw me. I actually didn't end up recording any B-roll. I sound so stupid when I say that. I just didn't end up recording any other clips that I was gonna use before, or like on my way to class and stuff. I gotta think of like some other things to add in, because I can't just record a walk to my class every day. I mean, that's not very entertaining. Or maybe it is, I don't know. But I feel like it definitely would get a bit repetitive. But like I said, pull day, just gonna be the average pull day. I'm gonna try doing some wrist curls. Probably not too heavy. I think I'm gonna do pretty light. Just trying to get my wrist back into it, warmed up, because I do think it's getting better. I do think it's healed a bit over my break, but nothing's guaranteed. So, and then also, I thought it was kind of funny. I wore my hand, or that like brace that I'll probably wear today as well. It's just a very light brace. It's nothing like crazy, but I wore it for majority of my trip, like this 11-day vacation, and I actually got a tan line on my hand. I wonder if you guys will actually be able to see this. Yeah, you can't even tell. But you also might notice, compared to my other hand, I shaved this. I shaved my hand in here because I was gonna wrap it with tape, like on that chest day, and it was too tight. It just didn't work. Like when I was flexing to do workouts, it was just really tight. So I ended up taking it off. So now I got a shaved hand with a non-shaved hand, but you can't even like tell at all. So, but yeah, gonna do that. Hopefully be able to do wrist curls and not have them hurt too bad. Also, I just realized I forgot to shut off my fan, so hopefully that's not loud. I guess I'll shut it off for just this last little bit. But I'm gonna go to the gym, underhand pull downs. I don't really feel like doing deadlifts, and I don't know if I'm gonna do them until this is healed. So don't expect to see those anytime soon. Oh, but we do gotta get a gym shirt on for today. I will be happy when I get back to the States and I've got all my gym shirts there for me. But yeah, but besides that, I know I'm gonna be getting that 325 calories burned on cardio this time. I'm not gonna fall short again. So yeah, that's about all I've got, and I'm gonna go get some dinner, and I'll see y'all in the gym. Alrighty, so starting off this pull day, we've got underhand lat pull downs, of course, and working again with those straps. You know, I feel like if you train forearms in your routine, that you don't really need to worry too much about using like wrist straps in an exercise like this, because the main focus of this exercise is to work your trap and your back. So if you are taking out more of that wrist hand grip strength action in order to more increase the back action, I think that is quite okay, as long as you're still training, you know, your forearms, so you're getting that strength in, because there can come to a point where you're still going to get work. Like when anything involving your grip, you're going to be working your grip strength in your forearms. But I do think in like cases with using wrist straps, that you can outpace your forearms if you don't train them at least sometimes. So as you know, I train forearms, and actually in this video you'll see my wrist curls are already back to what they were. I guess I warmed up. I'll get to it. You know, we'll just get there when we get there. Next up, some cable lat pull downs, just regular with the grip that I like, and I'm really liking how these looked. I felt like I controlled them really well. I did go a bit lighter, as I have been trying to go a bit lighter to maintain my, you know, good form and controlling the movement. And I will say, I'm doing whenever it crosses my mind, and as long as I remember, I do it. However, it does slip my mind sometimes. I did preach how I like to do 2 sets with a weight, and if I can do it for the reps that I want, I'll move up the next time. But until I do that, I don't move up. And I haven't been doing that as much as I should be. I keep forgetting that I even said that, which is, I know, it's contradictory. I feel like I've been doing better. I've been remembering a little bit more. It hasn't been perfect. I'm gonna perfect it. And then couldn't get the preacher like curl station to kind of put my back on that way to keep myself a little more strict. I do my best, the best that I can here. And I do like how this is moving. However, I will say on the downward, I could control a little bit better. And there, had to use a little bit of lean as I struggled to get that last rep, which is why I went down weight after. But I do think it is okay to use that little bit of lean, especially since it was mainly just for that last rep, and I did get more of the important like motion, like that initial curl. Obviously, I had to balance it, and then I finished off that curl squeezing tight. So while obviously you want to be practicing that good form, it's okay to occasionally use that, especially if it's like on your last rep, just to finish it off, because that'll benefit you more than just not doing the rep. Now, moving on to the dumbbell preacher curls, and again, the preacher curl wasn't open so I ended up having to do them on the bench. And there's nothing really wrong with doing them on the bench. I do think it is better to do it on the preacher machine. However, I'm a-okay doing them on the bench. Now, these went better than last time, I would argue. I believe I started with a lighter weight. Oh no, I did start with 14 this time. I guess I was just feeling 14. I think I might go down to 12, or we'll see here with the arrow screenshot. But I'm liking how I'm controlling. I'm liking the depth. Obviously, it's a little bit easier to get farther down with the preacher curl bench or setup, preacher curl setup, because if I get any farther, the dumbbell does touch the bench. And yeah, I did start with 14. However, I did move down to 12 as I did not get it from my reps at the beginning. I do think I'm still going to keep starting with 14 until, like I was stating earlier, I get that better consistency. So look for that. Look for hopefully running 14 for the next few weeks and hopefully going up. And I start my, it might have been arm day. I think it was actually arm day. I don't think it's today because, like I said, I'm a little behind in my. There's a fly flying around. There's like a little bug. Anyways, I'm a little behind on my recordings, but so I'll cover that in that arm day video. But decided to go a bit lighter today. As you know, this is still all with me going lighter now that I'm back from vacation, which is why I might be messing some things up. Because, like I said, I'm behind, getting caught up, so that when I'm talking, it's a bit more relevant and actually like, present talking. But anyways, wrist curls went pretty well. I mainly did this as a test to see where I was at with this right wrist. And at the time of recording this, it's really good. I mean, like I said, I was kind of talking ahead to that arm day that will be being posted here pretty soon. But wrists feeling really good. I liked how I controlled these. I like how they went. I like how it's healed. It felt pretty good. Obviously not 100%, but it's definitely way better than it was when I left. A lot more minimal pain. So, and then to finish things off, wanted to use the easy bar for these. Didn't get it. It was taken, which is all right. Again, it's not like life or death. This is just as good. Probably honestly better because you have the constant resistance from cables. I would argue cables majority of the time are going to be better than free weight unless you're like really, really strong to where like you're maxing out all the cables. Then obviously you kind of have to go to, sorry, the bug flew over there. And then you kind of have to go to free weight. So finishing off with the cable reverse curls, did 14.5 for all of them. Felt pretty good. Towards the end, I did struggle. That 8th one, or like that last set, those 8 reps were a struggle. And I think next time I'll probably end up finishing with 14.5, but starting a bit higher, obviously, since I got them all. And then moving on to posing, I feel like out of all of my posing, the back and biceps have gotten a lot better. I'm getting better at focusing on the different muscles, like including my abs or chest even though they're not the primary focus of the flexing. Obviously, the biceps in the back and forearms are going to be the main focus of this posing. However, it's still really important that those supplementary muscles, or rather the like supporting muscles, I guess, that you would consider in this case, are still being flexed as well, because those can sometimes be overlooked when you're practicing posing, because you want to be practicing the whole thing. Obviously, if you're just starting out, start with the basics, start with whatever muscle group you were targeting, and then move on to slowly, focusing on the other muscles to help kind of round it all out, round that posing together. And another thing you may notice that with my posing is that my right arm, at least to me, looks a lot more defined than my left, and I would not doubt that my right arm is stronger than my left, or rather, I wouldn't even say stronger, but rather just more endurance. So I guess maybe I need to be working the left. I might start my workouts with my left hand in the future. I'll look into see how it goes for the next few workouts, and then if I think that's needed, I'll probably end up doing that in order to sort of balance it out, make sure that like I'm not doing more with my right than I did my left, kind of like how I did with the dumbbell preacher curls for, I believe, both my first and last set. So starting with that left arm to make sure that my right's not getting too far ahead, that way my left can catch up a bit in how it looks. But yeah, besides that, I got cardio popping up for you guys, and I'll see y'all back at the apartment. those aren't toasted at all.
Alrighty, we're back at the apartment now. Workout was pretty good. Don't need to talk more on that, as we've already covered everything in the video. Me and my buddy, when we get back home to the United States, we plan on doing a Minecraft server with some of our other friends. Although me and the buddy that I'm here in Australia with, we are like the most like into the Minecraft server whenever we do it. But I'm kind of interested in maybe streaming it or recording it. I think streaming would be a bit easier, in terms of my everyday life and like time commitment to it. So I don't know. If you guys want to see that, obviously, I know I don't have much of a following, but if you are interested in that, I would really be willing to do that. I think that'd be a lot of fun. I do think I'd rather go with the streaming route rather than the video route, just because in terms of editing, I just don't got the time, if I'm doing gym and that. So I think streaming would be a good way to kind of counteract that process, so that I'm not like worrying about editing the video, because editing does take a while even for short videos, just due to processing times and whatnot. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. We play with plugins, not really mods, just to keep things a little more like different, but still pretty vanilla. So, but yeah, that's kind of all I got for this video. I know I talked a bit longer at the beginning with those two talking segments, so I'll keep this segment pretty short. But yeah, just let me know what you guys would, if you think you'd like that, and if not, I mean, I think I might still give it a try, but we'll see what happens. But as always, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.